The U.S. sends USS Nimitz carrier to Korean Sea via South China Sea amid tensions in North Korea. Deployments like that of the U.S. Nimitz are routine and undertaken in the knowledge they will be noticed by the increasingly assertive China. There are few greater displays of U.S. military might than its aircraft carriers. When they move, the world pays attention. They are huge floating cities of sorts. The U.S. Nimitz is one of them. Cabins and control rooms beneath an enormous flight deck. It can carry around 5,000 military personnel, and as many as 7,000 when you include the accompanying strike force of warships and jets. The U.S. Nimitz was docked temporarily in South Korea but had just completed a deployment in the South China Sea. Deployments like this are routine, but they are undertaken in the knowledge they will be noticed by one power in particular, and that power is China, the U.S. increasingly assertive competitor. Ult Ben Bushong, who served in the U.S. Navy for 7 years, much of it as a helicopter pilot. He and his colleagues know things are tense, as they have been for some time. The big picture is helping keep a free and open Indo-Pacific, he said. I would just say we're always ready and we're always training. So if we ever get called, we're ready to respond. And rarely has being ready felt more pressing. The U.S. face-off with China has multiple fronts, and almost all are becoming more fraught. Just a few weeks ago, China's new foreign minister said that if the U.S. does not hit the brakes on what it sees as provocations, then conflict will surely follow. China has increasingly been making a point of flexing its muscles in the seas that surround it. For many years, it has been accused of militarizing islands in the contested South China Sea and engaging in illegal fishing. But recently, it has also been sailing and flying much closer to the self-governing island of Taiwan. There have also been more specific incidents of concern. Just last week, China said it chased away a U.S. vessel that had illegally entered waters around the contested Paracel Islands, a claim the U.S. denied. And then there was declassified footage shot by a U.S. jet of a Chinese fighter flying just feet away from it, in a move the U.S. has described as aggressive and dangerous. The reality is that China can now afford to flex these muscles because it has rapidly developed the largest navy in the world, increasing tenfold in just the last 20 years. But it is the reason that U.S. presence here is so important, according to the Rear Admiral Christopher Sweeney, who leads the Nimitz's strike fleet. First, we are going to sail, operate, and fly wherever international law allows, he said. And my message to the PRC, People's Republic of China, would be that we're resolute in that. We're not going to be bullied. We're not going to be coerced, and we are going to stay here and fly and operate in international norms. China sees the U.S. efforts here as part of a broader effort to contain it. Fundamentally, it sees this region as its backyard. But in answer to that allegation, the Admiral was resolute. We do not seek to contain China. We do not seek conflict with China. We seek to set international norm that we all prosper from. If fighting did break out in this region, it would most likely be over the island of Taiwan, the self-governing democracy China sees as its own. China has not ruled out taking the island by force, and deterring this is one of the U.S. key objectives. In the meantime, China's increasing assertiveness is pushing many other Asian nations closer to the U.S. and each other. The show of allegiance with South Korea was front and center. The two are undertaking joint drills this week and will work with Japan. While much of the tension between the U.S. and China are invisible and covered, this is a region that is increasingly fractured, and there is a high-stakes standoff playing out. Before arriving at Busan, the Nimitz CSG drilled with the JMSDF and ROKN. Nimitz, Wayne E. Meyer Indicator exercised with JMSDF helicopter destroyer JSI's DDH-182 from Thursday to Sunday in the Philippine Sea, according to a Monday news release from the U.S. Navy. On Monday, Nimitz, Bunker Hill, Wayne E. Meyer and Decatur conducted drills with ROKN destroyers ROKS Sejong the Gri and ROKS Chuyong, and replenishment ship ROKS Wakshan in the waters south of Jeju Island as part of the U.S. ROK Warrior Shield field training exercises. The exercises between the U.S., South Korea, and Japan come as North Korea continued its campaign of launching ballistic missiles. Japan's Ministry of Defense reported that 2 ballistic missiles were launched from the west coast of North Korea on Monday, with both missiles landing in waters off the east coast of North Korea. The first missile launched at around 7:47 a.m. local time and flew about 220 miles at a maximum altitude of about 31 miles. The second missile launched at around 7:57 a.m. and flew about 220 miles at a maximum altitude of about 31 miles.